Okay, so I want to cover some stuff that happened. This is the day after the San Bernardino shooting. I do apologize, I'm very congested. I have a cold coming on, so bear with me. What I'm proposing is I believe that ISIS has actually activated its first sleeper cell here in the United States. Now, what do I mean by that? They're calling this mass shooting in San Bernardino for the time being a workplace violence incident. What you have here is you have a man who grew up in Chicago in California. He tried to find a wife many years ago and couldn't find one here in the U.S. He finally found one, and according to the research I've done, about 2 years ago in Saudi Arabia. He flies over to Saudi Arabia, he gets married and comes back with his wife, and his co-workers say he went, got a wife, came back, and all of a sudden he grew a beard and got more religious. And they say that he was always a quiet guy, he was always polite, he never had a temper, he was always nice around everyone and cordial, but he didn't talk to anyone he worked with. And he and his wife 6 months ago had a child. They had a baby. Okay, so they had this baby, and it's 6 months now to the present, and they take this baby over to Grandma's house, and they say, "Grandma, watch the baby, we have doctor's appointments." Okay? So they proceed to have rented a Yukon SUV from what I've read. And they take the Yukon. His company is having a holiday party. They've rented out a place in a civic center. So it's his community civic center, company holiday party, whatever. He's there for a little while, like half an hour. He gets up, leaves his coat, goes away. And half hour later he comes back in. He and his wife, both fully armed with rifles and pistols, carrying plenty of rounds, assault vests, everything, the works. And they kill 14 people and wound 17. They also leave behind a 3-piece pipe bomb hooked to a remote controlled RC car. It does not detonate and is not known if they tried to detonate it or were simply out of range or were too much in a hurry to remember to set it off. Okay, so then fast forward, the police shoot them up, they're dead. So, what do we got here? I mean, come on. Was this random workplace violence? This scenario of events through this person's life? Was this just him? All of a sudden he goes, "Honey, you know, the baby cries a lot. It's been 6 months. The baby still cries too much. Why don't we get all our guns and find some pipes and some gunpowder and let's go shoot everyone I work with and blow them up too?" I mean, seriously, are we really thinking that this person, this 2-people group, is really just a random act of violence? Like, he was upset with his workers, his coworkers who never said he ever got mad or upset or raised his voice, that he had a real problem with them or something. Never had any mental disorders, never was on any medication that I've read about. That this guy was, to an extent, wanting a wife and was recruited and given a wife by ISIS. And the wife and he went and waited, and then they carried out their plan at the proper time and place like they were supposed to. And we're going to see in the future that there's much more evidence pointing to this as the FBI and CIA investigate this, because this is not just a random workplace violence. This is a guy who was recruited and made into a sleeper cell here in the United States. And I don't think he's probably the only one who's out there. So we'll learn more in the near future.